When people looked at Amina and Sarah, they saw two sisters who shared the same home, the same parents, and the same past. What they didn't see was how differently life has shaped their hearts. Amina was the elder one. From a young age, she learned how to be strong before she learned how to be happy. When their father passed away suddenly, Amina was only 17. In that moment, childhood ended for her without warning. She stopped dreaming out loud and started carrying responsibilities silently. She learned how to stand in lines, how to manage expenses, how to smile in front of their mother even when her own chest felt heavy. Sarah, the younger sister, was still in school then. She was softer, more expressive, and full of questions about the future. She dreamed loudly about becoming something big, about seeing the world, about living a life that felt meaningful. While Amina learned how to survive, Sarah learned how to hope. As years passed, the gap between them grew not in love, but in understanding. Amina worked tirelessly. She took a modest job, then another, and sometimes even a third source of income. Her days were long, her nights short, and her dreams quietly folded away like old letters she no longer opened. Everything she earned went toward the house, their mother's medicines, and Sarah's education. Sarah, on the other hand, began to feel trapped by expectations she never asked for. She felt guilty for dreaming when she saw Amina come home exhausted. Sometimes that guilt turned into frustration. Sometimes, frustration turned into silence. They began speaking less not because they didn't care, but because neither knew how to explain the weight they were carrying. One evening, after a long day, Sarah received a rejection email from a university she had dreamed of attending. It felt like the last light inside her dimmed. She sat alone in her room, holding back tears, wondering if her dreams were foolish, if she was being selfish, if life was only about sacrifice and not about becoming. Amina noticed the quiet that night. She always did. Without saying much, she knocked on Sarah's door and sat beside her. For a few moments, neither spoke. Then Amina gently said, "I know you think I'm strong, but I wasn't born this way. I just didn't have a choice." Sarah looked at her for the first time in a long while, not as an older sister, but as a human being who had given up so much without complaint. Amina continued, her voice calm but honest. "I carry responsibilities so you don't have to. Not because you're weak, but because I want you to live the life I couldn't." Sarah's tears finally fell. That night, something changed between them. Sarah realized that her dreams weren't a burden. They were the reason Amina kept going. And Amina realized that strength didn't always mean staying silent. Sometimes, it meant letting yourself be seen. From that day on, they became a team. Sarah didn't stop dreaming, but she learned patience and gratitude. She studied harder, worked part-time, and supported Amina in small ways that mattered more than money. Amina, in return, allowed herself to rest sometimes, to laugh, to remember who she was before life demanded everything from her. Years later, when Sarah finally achieved what once seemed impossible, the first person she hugged was Amina. She whispered, "This is not my success. This is ours." Amina smiled, not the tired smile she used to wear, but a peaceful one. In that moment, she understood something deeply important. Strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it looks like an elder sister who never gave up. Sometimes, it looks like a younger sister who kept believing. And sometimes, the greatest motivation in life is knowing that someone stood quietly behind you, so you could walk forward without fear,